Welcome back to Worthington Model Railway. Today I'm going to take a look at some private owner wagons from multiple different manufacturers, and we'll do a bit of a comparison between the different manufacturers. So here goes. So the first thing I'm going to do is just look at some plank wagons. I have two examples from each of the manufacturers. So if we look here, we have John Lancaster and Murgatroyd. Those are from Hornby. We have Frame and William Thomas, and those are from Dapple. We have Tillman Stone and the Calico Printers Association. Those are both from Oxford Rail. And from Bachmann we have Wadsworth and Son, and we have George Lovegrove and Co. So I picked out some different things with some different detail on them. I thought we can sort of go through them and look at them one at a time, and then we can sort of try to do a comparison. So let's start with the Hornby ones. So let's start with John Lancaster and Co. As you can see, there's the printing is very clear. There is printing on the buffer beam there, and depending on how we get there, I don't know how much of that we can actually read, but it is obviously readable if you had the right magnification. All of these have NEM pockets. There's very little, well, I say there's very little. There's some detail on the underframe. It's difficult to see. There we go. So there's some detail on the underframe. The Hornby wheels are very nice. Metal wheels, they do spin very freely. And I just generally feel that Hornby have it right with what they're doing right now. This is the other Hornby one I have. This is Murgatroyd, and you see there's not too much detail on the inside. I mean, this one doesn't have bottom drawers or anything of that nature, but the side detail is good, and there is, again, there's a plate on the buffer beams that you can see there. Rivets look nice. The end doors are nice. So generally that's sort of pretty good. Now, if we look at the Bachmann, there is absolutely no detail on the underside. The wheels and the wheel frames are good. Wheels spin nicely. There's similar amount of detail on the inside, nothing that different. Nothing we can see here. You see, there's plenty of detail on the buffer beam, but there's nothing printed. So the molded detail on the buffer beam is very good. Again, the printing is very well defined, pretty easy to read, even the smallest printing there. 3D effect on the printing is very good, and the extra detail around the doors I really like. The end has some detail on there. So let's look at the other one. Okay, so looking at this one, again, the printing is very nice. Again, there's that molded detail in the buffer beam, but there's really no printing on the buffer beam. The wheels are nice. Bachmann, these wheels seem pretty good. They seem to spin pretty well, so I don't think there's too much of an issue there. Now let's get to the Dapol. And the interesting thing about the Dapple wagons is they all have a load. So they've all got a load in them. The detail is, the molded detail is pretty good, but that's about as far as it goes. There's nothing on the buffer beam there. It's okay. There's no detail on the bottom. Obviously, it just says Dapple, made in Wales, with a big screw there. the Dapple wheels, these actually spin pretty freely, but these things are notorious for derailing and having to be re-wheeled. I have re-wheeled some of my Dapple with Hornby. So here we have William Thomas. Again, the printing is nice. I think out of all of them, it's probably the least nice, if that's the best way to put it. And as I say, they all have these coal, or in this case it's gravel load. Okay, and so now let's look at the Oxford Rail. I think, so here's the Oxford Rail. Obviously the detail is phenomenal here. They have the molding, but they also have the printing on the buffer beam. They have the separately molded pieces on the underframe there. There's also quite a bit of detail on the underframe, although you know the big word Oxford is there, but it's similar to the Hornby in terms of detail underneath. They do have very nice detail on the inside. There's some bottom doors. We can see that. The detail on the ends is very good too. I think all around these Oxford Rail are probably right now the best wagons, and not only that, but value for money. Most of these Oxford Rail ones are, whoops, notice that's loose. I need to fix that. But most of these Oxford Rail ones, you know, they just look good. They run really well. The wheels are very good, and the detail is just phenomenal. And you know, most of these are less than $10 or around, sorry, 10 pounds, or around 10 pounds a piece. Whereas you could be paying as much as 20 pounds for the Hornby ones, and the similar sort of 15 pounds for the Dapple, and the Bachmann are around 15 pounds a piece too. Now the one other thing that I did do is I thought I'd check on the weights of these. Now the Dapple are the heaviest, and I think that is primarily because they have the load in them. So if we look at those two Dapples, the frame is 32.74 grams and the Thomas is 32.7 grams. So those are the heaviest of these. The Oxford Rail come in, the Tilmonstone is 21.4 grams and the Calico is 20.18 grams. So they are on the lighter side of all these wagons. But as I say, they do run very well. If we look at the Bachmann, the Wadsworth is 24 grams and the Lovegrove is 25.4 grams. The Hornby comes in at 24.73 grams for the Lancaster and 24 grams for the Murgatroyd. So the Hornby and Bachmann are almost the same in terms of weight. So you know, they all are okay. They all run okay. I think I am going to give Oxford Rail number 1, Hornby number 2, Bachmann number 3, and Dapple number 4 in terms of my rating of these wagons.
As always, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Subscribing to the channel does help us with the YouTube algorithm, and we're getting to that point where we're starting to get quite a lot of subscribers, and it would be great just to get a few more so we can get visibility on these videos. As always, subscribe with a button to the top right, and there is another video to the top left.